So it was that was a blessed trip, amazingly, because Swami gave me back a lot of stability on my second trip, because I had been through a lot of trauma through some incident that was very dangerous, etc. But I had managed to survive, including my sister. So
you came to him as a patient.
yes,
Thinking that you're coming to a doctor. In these 2-3 trips, the whole perspective had changed, right? What had he become for you now?
okay. The truth is that after I left him on my first trip, I had forgotten what I had actually come for. In a way, it didn't seem to make any difference, because when you feel so good from inside. So here is the deal, what I felt, and this is what I have felt all along about my past, and I'll say to you now, that I did not know that what I needed was a lot more. My foundations were very weak, flimsy, maybe broken, I don't know what, but I needed a lot more than this. I thought if my speech got straightened out, everything in my life would get straightened out. And that was not true, because plenty else otherwise was wrong with me. And I didn't know that. I just thought this. Ye theek ho jaye, so I'll become like one cool guy. And it was not to be so. There was so much that had to be repaired. And slowly too. It didn't, I expected it overnight. And so suddenly, it didn't seem to matter much. But it seemed to matter occasionally when I had to speak something somewhere or speak on the phone. I would get a little get tongue-tied, or I would stutter, and I could not say a few words which were very hard for me to speak because of their formation, etc. But the weight of the problem seemed to almost vanish, mostly. So he became now someone who was my guru, somebody who had the power to make my life worthwhile and make it bright, as in from inside. He came to Delhi in 1975, and I could not go with my other friends who were going again in 75. So Swami came to Delhi in March 75, I think, yes. And in the Talkadora garden, where there were about 2,000, 3,000 people sitting under a shamiana singing the bhajans when he came, and there was a podium, and he was walking through the people, and he saw me from a distance as he was walking. And he seemed to start to speak to me from there, but I couldn't hear what he was saying because of the bhajans were on. So he was saying, "How are you?" So when he came really near, then I heard him say, "How are you? How are you?" And then he said, "How's your talk?" So this was a year after I had met him, ever so briefly, and he must have met at least 5,000 to 15,000 people after that. And he remembered everything about me, and he pointed at his mouth saying, "How's your talk?" That obviously meant that I know what your scene is, how are you doing? And obviously for me it was a message, plus the power behind the message when he's asking you. Swami is asking you how you are, that means he's working on you. That's my opinion. And so I just went completely and I felt obviously a lot of, goodness and that emotion of, I was like, wow, it was, so he would do that whenever he chose to make me feel elevated.
You thought you were stammering and stuttering with your speech, but actually you were stammering and stuttering with your life. And he thought he needs to fix that. And that's what he was working on. And he was putting into sound grounding so that you stand.
Exactly. That's what he was doing. But I had no idea. See, I was this little guy who, young boy who was really still immature for my age, I think, because for whatever reason. So I was really completely ignorant about my needs. I just saw one thing that was harassing me, and I said, okay, I removed this little splinter from my hand and I'll be fine. But he could see a lot more had to be done, and I'm so glad. I think to myself that I'm actually glad that all those problems that I had, which were diminishing my quality of life and all that, and I was finding it hard to move in life, I'm so glad they were there. Because they were there, I looked for a solution to them, and I looked to him, and I had the solution to so many problems that I did not even know existed. But he saw me through them better than I would have managed on my own. So in a way, they were a blessing, because I got to meet Swami. The commitment to your happiness and to bringing you up from any situation that can lead you to some form of darkness, etc. So, the protective aura of his is just amazing.